Call the meeting to order, form for the minutes and the agenda.
I'll make a motion.
I'll second it. All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Aye. Motion carries. Rich here today or?
Here,
There he is, okay.
yeah, just give you some updates here real quick. Can you guys hear me?
You hear us?
Yeah, I can hear you.
We got you.
All right, paver pulled off the header last Friday. Sounds like the asphalt crew is supposed to be in today to do the asphalt work, start that. Once they get done with that, they're gonna go right to shouldering. So see a lot of activity out there this week yet. So hopefully people will still respect the closure so that we can get our work done and get done there in a timely manner. So I haven't heard much about the 390th Street Bridge yet. I'm assuming they're still backfilling, but it's been really a slow process. So don't know much more about that one. I haven't been able to talk to Al. We've been focusing on the paving since the bridge has been so slow. So, and then next week I'll have some recommendations for hire to bring to the board. So Jack, if you want to put something on the agenda about discussion and a possible action on hires. So other than that, I don't have a whole lot to discuss this morning. We're going to start putting some snow equipment on trucks here this week too, probably starting to dress some things up, at least get them ready. My guess is it'll be belly blades mostly. So anyway, don't like to talk about it, but it's going to come no matter what. So
Well, better be prepared.
right. So other than that, I don't have a lot to discuss with you guys. If you guys have questions, I can sure try to answer them. Otherwise, I'm going to try to get to my Mitchell County meeting here real quick.
Okay.
You heard about the cement culvert down by Keenan's collapsing?
No.
We called RC on it yesterday. We got it flagged, but yeah.
Okay. I'll have to look at that.
The road.
Okay. Must not be a very big one, is it? Little small pipe
I
probably.
haven't physically seen it, but my guys were concerned with it.
All right. All right. Well, we'll get it taken care of.
After the railroad tracks or before?
I don't know.
We'll get her fixed. So, okay. Any other questions?
Okay, thanks, Rich.
All right. Thanks.
Like drainage,
Okay, did I send this revised letter out to you
Yes.
guys? Yeah,
or somebody did anyway.
so basically, I did reach out to the attorney and should have done that first, that you don't take parcels out of drainage districts. You could drop them to the lowest assessment, minimum assessment, but you don't take them out because there's still a possibility that they can get benefit.
Okay.
So I don't know what,
Did Gordy get that letter too then?
oh, no.
Okay.
Do you want me to send it to him?
Well, I guess he was the one requesting the action, so he probably should at least see what we're doing, but.
Well, and just the fact that
Yep.
he had plenty of time to give him the information, then our assessment schedule would have been correct and all that good stuff.
So I think our weird question was he moved into DD2 on some property? Is that why he flagged it, or is it just because he was getting a lot of flack about
Because if you
it?
look at those
I
two
have no
parcels
idea.
right now on Beacon, he's only got like
Only
a
one.
third of one of the 40s in it. So he must have got, that's why I was asking. If he
That
got
other one
moved
got
into
moved
it.
in, the second one. Look in that map up there, that half of it's not even in the DD2.
Well, one of the sections isn't even in DD2 and the other one has only got a third of it.
I'd have to look.
Yeah, well, I'm
But,
just curious. Because it was, if Bolton and Mink brought it in.
There was an annexation hearing and all that
I know we
good
had
stuff.
some, but I didn't think we annexed any property up there. It was more down towards the south and around Johntown and David Higgins did, we did a bunch of stuff down there. Cause that was all messed up, but okay.
It says in the letter that he took it to the west. Well, in the west, there's DD 77. So did he drop into another one or did he take it south
Yeah.
to Elk Creek?
I think whatever he brought it must not have been a district, at least the way it looks on that map. Because yeah, if he dropped,
If he dropped in
if he
another
tiled in
district,
another district without
you either gotta go in,
approval,
yeah,
that's not right either, so.
So the only thing I can figure out is he took it west, but he went straight south to Elk Creek.
That one that ends with 5 did get annexed in 17.1 acres.
So that's the, yeah, that's the,
Is that the one on the west side or the east side?
So that must be added to, maybe he's already had some more acres in.
Well, he's got 5 and 8 that he's got down here, those two parcels.
I gotta check on that because this conflicts with what
right,
is on here.
that's what I,
Cause this says 17.1 and this is 29.25.
was in that letter, too, it said, the original letter, it said they found an intake, well, that's on the map up there from whatever year that map was, that intake, or culvert was there going across the road where he's.
And just because he took it west and south, that's his call, not ours.
Well, if, yeah, I mean,
I can do the same thing on my property. I'm in a drainage just on the east side, 1/3 of a whole 40, and we pattern tiled it and took it all straight north to the creek.
if he was annexed in, you should have disputed it at the
Yeah.
annexation
Yeah.
hearings, what she's saying, and that's probably true, so I mean. If he basically gets out of this for $5, I think he'd probably be.
Well, I don't think you should get out of it for that. You're either in the drainage district or you're not, according to this. Iowa code does not allow you for removing parcels.
But
So
it
now
does
if you're
allow you to
stuck
go
in
to a
it-
minimum assessment, I mean, if he's
Right, but I
not,
mean, even
yeah.
so, if he's gonna do it, then why can't I go and do it?
well, you
Why
can,
can't-
you
Why
can.
can't
if you
everybody
could-
do the same thing?
if you could
Are
prove
we gonna
that-
open up a can of worms is what I'm saying.
If you could prove you got better benefit going,
I do.
staying in that district than going out. And I mean, I think that's what he would, probably be saying here is he was out of the district because he could not go into DD2 at that time. He tiled out of that district long before he was annexed in.
Gotcha.
Just so, I
I
mean,
thought he tiled after he was annexed.
so I would, if he's asking to actually be removed both partials, it would only be the one. I think the one he was annexed in on, we would drop that to 5. The other partial, if he was already still in there, he should be, that shouldn't change.
That shouldn't change at all. I think we gotta do a little more looking into this.
Yeah,
And we can talk to Jacob if,
yeah,
but yeah, so he told me to get rid of the last letter.
Right.
Keep this letter
Okay.
and
we
then
have it.
it's still up to you guys if you want a refund or not. He did pay, but there's like, one of them was almost $600, I think.
Probably the original one, I would think. The
But the
second
other
one,
one
well,
was-
what's the second one would actually use more?
Cause the one was in multiple districts.
Oh,
Yeah, so,
we need a little more clarification.
yeah.
Yeah.
Jacob, Kim, either we get them on the phone next week or something when they
Yep.
do here too.
Okay.
If we move him to that $5 deal and 67 years down the road, when we're all dead, nobody remembers it. And he decides, well, I'm gonna go back into DD2 with my tile and drain that direction.
That's why you keep them in.
Right, you keep him in, but
Yeah.
Right,
then when you do something and clean the thing out, if he's still sitting there at that $5 deal and he's now dumping into it, I mean, is he gonna come in here and say, well, now I'm dumping back into DD2, so I need to get charged at the full rate?
you'd have to tile a long ways to
You
get
know?
to DD2, I think.
I'm not sure. And it messes up the assessment schedule. We're not gonna go through and change
Right,
every one of them
everybody.
again, but it
'Cause it's
is,
so minimal.
so basically, we're gonna have to just charge enough to make sure that there's,
Yeah, let's get a little clarification,
Yeah.
from Jacob, at least on the partial closer to 105, I think it splits there. And see if
Cause that one,
if that was
before, there
annexed
was
in,
nothing in there.
which again, he should have run that data in at the hearing, but
Mhm. Or the other hearing, or the,
yeah,
let's see, the December 12th, 2019 hearing, or the May 19th Zoom, or the July 13th,
so I
2020 meeting.
would assume that she would have been looking at it. If that one property wasn't in DD2,
And that
he would
was-
have never got a notification on the one property, only on the property that was already in.
The one to the west, or the one to the east.
Now,
But if
after
he
it was
was looking-
annexed, then he maybe would have got a notification. He should have got a
But if he was
notification.
looking at the report,
I know, but I'm
Yeah,
just, I
yeah,
mean, he could fight it, if he decides to.
well, that parcel was an annexation.
So he would have got a notice after we annexed it, not before we annexed it.
Mm,
Because if it wasn't in District 2 or anything related to District 2, he would have never got notification on this property here. This one here, yes, I mean, but he splits right here if you look at that map. So the property over here, he would have got notification on that he was gonna, we were,
The east property, but the west property would have
West
never
not, he
got
would
it.
not have got notification. Not that you give notification for
Yeah, I was
every
gonna say he
property,
had it.
But
but
then once you decide to annex it in, when you got notification that this
yeah,
is,
I mean, I'd be upset if
Thinking
all of a
about
sudden
doing
I realized, you know, for 100 and some years, I wasn't in a district. And you know, granted, it's my job to pay attention probably, but
Mhm.
you know, now all of a sudden you say I'm in that district and I'm getting benefit from it, then even until we clean this, I doubt if there's any way he can really get benefit from it. Until DD2 is cleaned and taken care of, he's gonna have a hard time getting benefit.
Well, and he just basically wants it straightened out before the big project comes.
So get clarification on that, we'll see, so, all right, drainage claims, is there some, or none, that was last week, okay.
And I got, Crystal did some cleanup. I just wanted to share a couple forms with you. Our beaver
Trapping,
form
Yeah.
was ancient,
Hmm.
and so was our drainage work order, so we
okay,
just got a couple
got some
of
updates on this.
updates that we're proposing.
so you want approval on these?
And we'll get them on the website and all that good stuff, so people can have access to them.
Okay.
I think I put that beaver on like in 2005.
It's been on there for a long time.
Yeah. that was-
Well, Kenny's name's still on it, so we just took the supervisors' names off of it.
Okay, so I'll take a motion to approve the new forms for beaver trapping and for work orders.
I'll make that a motion.
Okay, I'll second it. Any further discussion? Hearing none, all those in favor say aye. Aye, motion carries. Okay, claims. Any questions on the claims?
Nope.
Okay, take a motion to approve the claims.
I'll make a motion to approve the claims.
I'll second it. Any further discussion? Hearing none, all those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Aye, motion carries. The reports,
Nope,
payroll,
nope,
liquor license.
nope.
Okay, the tax abatement on homestead credit partial. 01073008.
Okay, basically found out that homestead was omitted from a parcel. And find it again, if we want to put it back on. And give them the homestead credit.
Guy Mary Overland, okay.
I don't know how it dropped, but it dropped.
Hmm.
People do pay attention.
Okay, so we need a motion then to accept the
Tax
amendment of the tax abatement for Guy Mary Overland.
I'll make that a motion.
Okay, I will second it. Any further discussion? Hearing none, all those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Aye, motion will carry. Resolution setting the date for public hearing for proposed incurred debt.
Yeah.
Okay,
mouthful,
that's-
isn't it?
That's a mouthful.
Yeah, that one is there. Okay.
So what's our time frame then?
Getting all this done by the 15th so we can cut a check.
Okay,
I was a little stressed out about
Yep.
that, and John Danos talked me down and said, oh, we just gotta do this and this and this, and I'm like, okay, sure.
so we just need to set the hearing date as like next Monday then?
No, the 15th.
The 15th,
Yeah,
okay,
because it's
sorry.
gotta go in the newspaper. and all
Gotcha,
that
that's
good
what,
stuff.
okay, I
Yeah.
thought- okay. All right, so I will take a motion, set the hearing date for resolution number 2021-11-01 for November 15th.
I'll make that a motion.
I will second it. No further discussion, all those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Aye, motion carries. Okay, resolution relating to financing of certain proposed improvements on Highway 105. You haven't taken by Worth County.
This has to do with the $2 million that is going to be taken out of the TIF.
Okay.
Plus the 1.7 that we want put back into the Highway 105. We want to basically reserve the right to be able to replenish that. So that's why this one came up.
Okay. So we need a motion to approve. Take a motion to approve the resolution 2021-1101-02.
I'll make that a motion.
I will second it. Is there any further discussion? Hearing none, roll call vote. Goldberg,
Aye.
Smithy, aye. Motion will carry. Do we need to sign this?
I gotta ask what to do because they put chairperson and I forgot he wasn't gonna be here. So
Okay. All right,
see if I can tweak him.
okay, no problem. Dan Fink, inmate handbook.
Basically, since we switched to Lexipol a couple years ago, our current inmate handbook wasn't mirroring with Lexipol, so we went through and mirrored that up. It has been passed through me, the jail administrator, county attorney, district court judge, and we just need your approval to enact that as our rules and regulation for the jail.
So the one you sent us was the current one. Is it?
Yep.
Okay.
Yep.
Good. So Jackie gets back. You got any questions?
Nope.
Okay.
I read through it. And it was,
It was interesting.
yeah, it was interesting. I didn't know there was any such thing.
You need to visit now.
Yeah,
You want to get pretty close?
No.
All right. So I will take a motion to approve the updated inmate handbook for Worth County Jail.
I'll make that a motion.
I can second it. Any further discussion? Hearing none, all those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Aye, motion will carry. All right. Copy that. Melissa, you on? Winworth Petco.
I am.
Hey,
I sent out a invite to the Venture School launch day.
Yep.
Well, in case you are interested in checking it out, we have Winworth Becko has one candidate in there this go around. So it'll be, there's a Zoom option and you can go in person. It's in Mason City.
Okay. All right, I
Then,
saw that.
Okay. I sent out a invite for special Winworth Becko board meeting next Friday, 9 a.m. If that works for you.
That was the Friday after.
Are you the 5th or the 12th?
The
That
12th,
was the 12th.
12th, so that'd be next week.
Yeah.
next Friday.
Okay, I thought you said this
I
Friday.
have it on
Oh,
here.
sorry.
Oh, no problem. Yep, okay, we got that.
Okay, and I think that is about it. I'm just getting caught up on administrative stuff today.
Okay, sounds good. Any questions?
Nope.
All right, thanks, Melissa.
You bet.
Chris.
Sorry, my report's late.
Oh.
I was just on vacation, so I had no access to my server.
Okay.
Everything's been going pretty good. You seen me on last Monday.
Yeah.
We're just doing our yearly maintenance on the lift station.
Okay.
So everything's been going pretty good.
Good.
All sludge last month, got that done right away.
All current.
Yep.
No complaints from the casino, giving good water.
So it's been going really good, actually.
Good.
Not gonna turn wood.
Well, we got some people
Talking
going, we got
about-
people going through there. They're probably-
It's pretty quiet.
Is it quiet now?
I can tell you when everybody goes in the field and everybody gets out, so it'll start coming
So
back.
it should pick up well next week then.
Yeah,
I should know. All right, well, thanks, Chris.
Going too fast.
Department head discussion. We'll wait for Mr. Eppley, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, I guess we could do supervisor weekly then. How's that?
Had nothing.
Good for you.
Is that fast enough for you?
Wow,
Keep that
well,
going, Ian.
You had to have child services yourself.
No.
AJ wanted a quick meeting.
Yeah.
He didn't want to miss anything.
I had a workforce development board and there was no earth-breaking news, just general stuff. So everything's going good. We're up to par for the government, making them happy. So sounds like unemployment's dropping, but we still need workers too. So, but anyway, that's all I had. So anything for next week's agenda that we need to get on? I think we're pretty well up to date. Somebody get a hold of Sandy Morales for seeing if we could change that date, or
I'm not sure.
I didn't.
Yeah.
I don't.
Who said they
I
were
thought
gonna get hold of
AJ
her?
was going
AJ was
to,
going
but-
to, wasn't
I think I could be.
But I can reach out.
send her a message or something. I could-
Cause we need to change that to
Well,
the
if
10th,
we're gonna
right?
go to the drainage deal, I
Yeah.
mean, if somebody doesn't wanna go and they can make sure they get a quorum, I mean, you gotta make sure you got a quorum, otherwise it's not worth setting the meeting up. You know, again.
Cause that's what happened last time.
Yeah.
And we did discuss either the 3rd or the 10th, so I
Okay.
know that, I'm
The
pretty sure the 10th's available to us.
Better. Well, other than the 10th. Okay, the 10th would work, wouldn't it? That's
Yeah.
a Thursday, so
No, that's a Friday, December 10th.
December 10th, I'm sorry,
Yep.
okay, I'm a month ahead. You're right, yeah, so that would still work. Shoot, I was thinking of Melissa's date there.
Yep.
Okay,
So are you gonna get in touch with her?
Sure.
Gotcha.
okay, thank you.
Mm,
Is Kevin joining us in person?
I think so.
No, to discuss, right?
Nice having the books.
I do have my.
Okay.
Oh, yeah.
And homework.
Book, catalog.
crayons.
Yeah, I still have to
Thank
got it at
goodness for
home and I
pictures.
still have it at time.
I, one morning I breezed through it.
Well, most of it we've seen.
Yes. I've seen it twice.
Oh, print and stuff.
Not much in from that previous proposal. You need to make a decision.
Mm,
I'm missing one. Anybody from the public looked at this and gave any feedback on the website or anything?
Not that I'm aware of.
Not that you're aware of.
About the same as before.
Yeah.
I think so. Yeah, it's been pretty quiet.
Did you push it out on Facebook too, or?
It was pushed out pretty good from people.
It was on Facebook. Huh? Oh, yeah, I missed it.
Good. Couple people put it on, forwarded it, it was on the website. And then a bunch of people shared it, so.
Better up your social media game.
What's that?
You better up your social media game. Get your TikTok going.
Yeah.
Twitter going.
Punch Facebook once in a while.
There you go.
Metabook.
Huh?
Metabook.
That's,
Metabook, what is that?
they changed their name.
Oh, that's right, yeah, I did hear that. I didn't see that.
The sheriff is a technology.
Well, you know. What else do cops have to do when they're sitting around like that?
Yeah, yeah. Only so much donuts you can eat. Yeah. Mark Tomlinson has a chat.
Okay.
You want to review that?
Yeah.
Big city. Hmm. I don't know if I saw that or not, did.
Yeah, you were supposed to send something to your legislators.
Oh, was that a? It's probably still in there.
Mhm.
So how does he want to spend them?
Yeah.
How are we coming on that?
What's
We
that?
gotta have another
Gotta
meeting.
have another meeting on that. Spending money. Properly.
We're getting interest.
Good.
It's kind of opening up to us a little bit, from what I've read.
Restrictions.
That's what he's.
That's what the legislation ideas must be a little bit of some sort. See if I can find that email and read it.
That'd be nice.
And we got that last week.
Oh, speaking of, sorry, I did finally get a quote back from Winnebago Telephone on a new phone system, so
Hmm.
I'll share that with you guys probably
Okay.
here in a couple of weeks. I want to do a little bit more research on it yet.
More or less than last time.
Oh, much less.
Ooh,
Yeah, probably about half.
Good.
Well, you know, it's technology, you know, some things get less expensive, some get more expensive, so.
I just want you to replace it more
Some
often.
work,
than
some
probably.
doesn't work.
There's the other thing, yeah.
Some work sometimes, some.
Finally got all the bugs out of the old system, now
Like
for the new system.
IT guy,
Mm.
sometimes
Yeah.
it works, sometimes he doesn't, mostly doesn't.
On vacation all the time.
Oh,
Yeah.
the wastewater guy.
Do we need to have this as an open meeting? I'm wondering.
Yeah, you probably want a closed session.
Technically.
That would be nice once in a while.
You gotta post it though,
I could just. I could
and you
just
have to
adjourn it.
request it in writing.
Hold on.
Yeah.
Far
I
enough,
got
can
that
anyone?
balance sheet that way
Legal
before.
documents.
There's a pen there.
That one's been laying there for a long time.
We'll be starting re-precincting.
Yes.
Can you bring that up?
So Jackie and I did sit in on a webinar from Secretary of State's office. I had gone ahead and redrawn the precincts based on our existing numbers.
Okay.
Precincts,
The
supervisor
districts.
districts. And we aren't too far off from where we were last time, realistically. I mean, the county, I think, only lost 48 people total from one census to the other. I think that was the number. But this go around, we're not drawing the supervisor districts. The state,
Is drawn.
LAS,
yeah, the LAS is drawing.
legislative, blah, blah, blah.
So we still do have to draw the precincts.
Okay.
So we'll, Jackie and I need to sit down and, the tool is actually that the Secretary of State's office provides is actually fairly simple to use. That's one of the things I did when I was in Colorado here a couple weeks ago, so I sat down
Played with the etch a sketch.
a little bit, yeah. Move this over here, move that over there. But I think when I did the numbers, I think we're off like 48 or 47 people per district, so.
Yeah, it was definitely under 100.
Yeah,
Yeah.
Their magic number where you don't change, is that it?
I think so. I'm not really sure where that is, but I know when Kay and I first, when we did this back in 2011, 2010, I think those, in my mind, I'll have to look at the documentation I did back then, but I think those numbers are pretty much rock solid from, not much has changed. I think, like I said, I think we lost a little bit of population in probably Grove Township, and then I think Manly had a population decrease too. I'm not sure that area. So we have to have that done by January 15th, which is funny because the legislature just passed their redistricting
Last Thursday.
They
last
did pass
Thursday.
it. Okay.
Yep. they
And that
did
was the
pass it.
second round.
That was the second round. They did pass it. We have 90 days from that date to get our stuff done. But by law, we have to have it done by January 15th. So the law of 90 days goes out the window.
So we got squeezed, but nobody else did.
Yeah.
Yeah, you got squeezed by 15 days.
So I'm sure we'll be. So we're not really sure what the supervisor districts are gonna look like, but that's up to you guys to approve anyway. So.
It is what it is. It is what it is, right?
Yeah.
Can't move all
Can't move people.
No.
that.
Just have it all at large.
Oh, there we go.
It is what it is.
Mhm.
That takes an act of.
I'm taking that. Well,
Well, we'll just do all at large and add 3 more, 2 more in there.
Yeah.
Go 5.
Oh, yeah, that would be nice and cozy. I'd be out of a chair. You'd be out of a chair.
I'd move away from the heater.
Yeah. Because you'd have seniority then.
Well, no, that desk has been there for like 100 and some years. So
And I guess they'd back it up that
And that's always
way.
been 3.
might shove you tighter back in the corner.
Yeah,
So I bet you when that bell's looking too, so.
does that
Yeah, that
ping a
was
little bit
nice.
at you?
Oh, yeah.
Yes.
Spits and pings.
Like the elementary school
We took the jar down. for
way
you.
back when.
Yeah,
They took the
wasn't it
what?
like a Skippy
Collection
or
jar
something?
down.
Yeah,
Oh,
there was a jar up there that was collecting that stuff. I remember one time Daryl brought an umbrella to the meeting because it was coming up.
Really? Ooh. That'd be a little tough, a little hot.
A little hot. Yeah.
So it's fixed for now.
Hi, Kevin.
Okay.
Hey,
Right
Kevin.
on time.
Here, you want, you can sit
Or
here.
you can go over there today.
So you want,
It's
yeah.
up to you.
Go over there.
You
yeah,
can,
the
yeah.
corner.
Chairperson.
Sit by the flags.
Yep.
Yeah.
And my computer decided to update, I guess.
Oh, are
Oh,
you spinning?
fun. Those are the best.
This will take a while.
Well. We'll wait into it here. We're waiting for you, so.
Okay. Make your way.
No.
Well, there you
You're right
go.
on time.
You knocked AJ around.
Knocked him right off.
Uh-oh.
No, he doesn't show up, that's what I
So I think what we came away with was that recommendation for the new building on this site. On the back side. Leaving the courthouse where it's at.
Okay,
And that construction estimate at the time was about 14 point something.
so we got to relocate during construction, be the engineer on.
Right. So we have to relocate that building back there, or at least some of the services that are in there.
Okay.
The engineer.
Talked about this last week and in this morning, we haven't seen the geo samples. Have you seen? that?
I sent.
You
I
got,
sent
we
those.
got-
Those were
did
in the
you?
email too.
Yeah, I read
Okay.
through those on it. We got an email on those.
Yeah,
Okay.
I requested those last week when you guys asked
okay,
about
must
it.
have missed it.
So there's nothing in there that would change our costs. Or
Okay.
increase anything.
Good.
Significantly.
According to the samples, it's a good enough site to build on then.
Yeah.
Okay.
You had like a 1-inch settlement in there. Is that pretty much average?
Yeah. Yeah. That's nothing to be concerned about.
All new buildings are gonna settle and you're gonna get some cracking.
Well, hopefully the foundation will be designed so we don't have that. That just means we need to prepare for that possibility. The geotechs like to put that in there as covering themselves, I think. But as long as we design the foundation, we shouldn't see anywhere near an inch of settlement.
Okay.
We have not had that kind of an issue before.
So can I ask a question?
Yes.
Absolutely.
So you said keeping this existing building here, is that with the 1980 construction as well, or is it just the main part of the courthouse?
The budget we put together removed the one-story pieces.
Okay, all right, so we will have to do something, sheriff's office, jail.
That doesn't have to be removed to construct the new building.
Okay,
You
We
just move
just-
right into a new building.
We just build it into the cost, thinking you'd probably take that one-story piece down.
So the only thing that's gotta go is secondary,
Right.
the engineer's office,
For
And
which we kinda
construction,
knew anyway.
yeah.
And the parking lot, of course.
Right.
So
but
you have
that's
to park
minor.
on the street in the interim.
I see Methodist Church has got a new place for us to park, so
Anyway,
it's all painted and done.
It is very nice.
Yeah.
All right.
Yeah, I don't know how else we could, I don't know where we'd move. I have no clue where we would go in an interim.
Yeah, that would be the challenge.
Mhm.
So this concept makes sense.
That would be a
Once it's
nightmare.
built, you can just move right into it.
Make it sound so simple.
well, it's simpler than try to,
It's about as simple as it can get. I
Mhm.
mean, it's about the shortest distance you can move to. there's gonna be disruptions, there's gonna be noise.
That's, yeah,
That's construction,
that's construction.
yeah,
Can't get around that. So,
right. There's,
somebody's gonna have the noise even if we moved out of here, so, you know.
the contractors are gonna need laydown areas and place for trailers and things like that, so. Anything they can close off, like one lane in the street, maybe in the back or something like that, to give them a place for trailers and storage and,
Something we'd have to discuss with the city at that point. Going forward.
yeah, contractor parking.
Yep.
For construction, with all the supply chain issues, some of the things that we've been doing is building in a much longer construction period. But we give them a flexible start date. We've got a project now that is bidding in mid-November that we basically said you can start construction on site as late as mid-March. So that gives them the ability to put their shop drawing submittals together. Once those are approved, make orders, and then starting to warehouse product. We've also built in allowances, modest ones for warehousing costs. So that not every contractor has enough warehouse to allow them to, you know, store all the materials before they start. Structural joists, for example, right now, if you ordered structural joists today, you would get it till September
Up next year.
of next year. Right, so there are a lot of issues like that. So, I mean, we look at products that are more available and try to design around those, or at least bid as an alternate. If we know the alternate product that we have to use is much more expensive. So we can use, for example, we can use beams instead of joists, but it's a lot more money, costs a lot more. So we build in alternates to give the contractor more flexibility and to help you keep your costs down. If they don't have to start as soon, then they don't have to have people on site, which is what costs them money. The general contractors don't want construction to last so much longer because it just costs them more money. So we try to help create a window and then give them an extended time for when the deadline can be, so that they can always finish sooner. We just give more flexibility. So a project that might normally take a year might take a year and 9 months to complete. So that does add a little bit of cost. That's part of the increased cost of construction right now. I've been going to a lot of conferences and talking to big contracting companies, and nobody really sees an end to this. It's hard to forecast things, but don't really expect things are going to get caught up, 6 months from now. So it's just something that we need to deal with in our design. So we design it in a way that can be cost effectively constructed using materials that are available as locally and affordable as possible. The design process for the building we're talking about is probably 8 to 9 months for the full process. And you get about a month of bidding. So it's a ways out. Climates may totally change by the time we're done with the design. We'll see. So,
So you're looking at 8 to 9 months for the design phase and bidding process. Is that what you're saying? Okay.
Yeah.
Gotcha.
Do you know ballpark cost on that? Sorry,
Yeah,
I
we-
always ask about the money.
14.
Yeah,
they're in the
yeah,
budget. The
sorry,
budgets are in
I
there.
haven't done my homework yet. I'll just be
Yeah.
quiet.
Oh,
No, all these different options are in the budget. So,
Okay, got it.
and we budgeted a line item for what architecture, engineering fees were, and all the other soft costs too.
Mhm.
Those are budgets. Those aren't,
Actual,
exact
yeah.
amounts. So,
Just standard rule of thumb, like housing construction, it's gonna be 10, 20, 30% over.
housing,
Just saying, you know,
Wood construction costs, obviously, everybody knows. went way
no,
up.
I mean, I'm just talking after you design, we said it's $14 million is your budget. I mean, we're looking at probably 20% cost overruns regardless,
We,
you know, design, I mean.
we haven't had that experience.
Okay,
We have seen bids that came in, I would say in the last 3 months, that have ranged from 2% to 15% higher than what the estimates were.
okay,
The ones that came in higher were more related to HVAC projects.
gotcha.
So we're doing a lot of projects for big government entities that have decided to use ESSER funds to air condition their buildings or put in new HVAC systems altogether. And that equipment costs have really gone up.
So the other question, I think it's, I'm just gonna go, I think Winnebago County and Floyd County both, you know, put up some new jails. And they run into a lot of things that either didn't get engineered in, or there's things that you think
Yeah.
you've covered all the bases on that. That's my big question, you know, I know there's a lot of regulations there, but I mean, that would be
There
where
are.
all of a sudden you could have a cost overrun, or it could cost us money going forward if we didn't think about it in the build process.
That's a very good point. Members of our firm have done big prisons and jail projects. I mean, I got to work on a federal prison in Barbados, one in Mexico. We did the Polk County Jail about 15, 20 years ago, and the interim Polk County Jail. So I've already contacted some consultants that can do peer review work for us. The former jailer from Polk County, Marv Wilson, I don't know if you know him. He happened to be our client at the time, and he, since he retired, started just doing consulting. So we want to make sure we have
Yeah. I
all
just, you know, I
those
know,
things.
yeah, Winnebago and Floyd I've heard from. I sit on Central Iowa Juvenile Detention, which we're doing an expansion down there. And some of the things you have to think of that don't affect, I mean, that won't affect you down the road, like, you know, little shut-offs for every toilet, you know, and in case somebody busts one of them off, you don't have to shut the whole system down. I mean, little tweaky little things. It's just,
and that stuff will happen.
yes.
Yeah.
So I just, hopefully all those bases are covered in this. I haven't got that. That's hard to see.
We have 3 phases of design: schematic, design development, and then the construction of the documents. During schematic design, we spent a lot of time with the building users to make sure everything we're designing functions. Once we have the plan figured out, the engineers get much more engaged. So at the end of schematic design, you guys, we'll come back to you with, okay, here's the plan, here's the budget. If everything is good, the walls aren't going to move anymore.
Right.
So the engineers can start their calculations, volumetric, lighting, plumbing, the security design, all that work can happen. Walls might shift here and there, duct chases or homing chase access, or hey, we need an IT closet here, that kind of thing. But then at the end of the design development, the engineering design is mostly done, far enough along that we can update the budget again. We get your review and approval. And once that's approved, then we do the actual bid documents. And those actual bid documents are, that's a 10 to 12 week process before it goes out to bid.
So if we could get our ducks in a row and say we wanted to get this process started by January 1, that puts us out until mid to late fall as far as getting everything designed and lined up. Would you be able to get construction started by the next spring
Yeah,
of 23?
yeah. You guys award a bid in say October. We could do what we're doing with some of our projects right now, where we create a window of time for the contractor to do all that upfront work before they mobilize on site. But they could easily break ground in the spring of 23.
Would you guys need to find a place for secondary roads before?
Well, that would be
their
part of this next,
thing
I would
is-
say that if we're gonna be doing this in the next 30 to 60 days, we need to talk really hard about this. And that would be one thing that would be included is where would Rich go and the guys go for that time frame. The other thing is, funding. How are we gonna fund this? How are we gonna, there's a lot of things that need to be decided before we can even start. We want you to get this design going, because then it's another 8 to 9 months. So, but we have to have all those ducks in a row before we say, yes, we're gonna engage, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
So we need to get that all figured out.
So if we're knocking down the whole 1-story section, right? So is there a rehab plan then for the north side of the courthouse?
You're talking about leaving the structure here intact. Are we,
That's
Well, and what
we're
are
doing,
you
right?
doing with it?
That's a decision
that's a
that
decision.
you're gonna have to come to, yeah. What are you gonna do with this building? So we've got some dollars in the budget to do something to this building, not a lot.
Just to make it another museum.
We don't have, total renovation of this at all. We just have, removing the outside piece.
Gotcha.
That's it.
That's it.
Oh, I guess that's gonna be part of the next 30 days. We'll discuss that in the next.
So let's figure out.
And
You got a couple of years to figure it out.
well,
Or
yes,
construction
but
stuff.
I do think
Be good to have a plan.
I think it would be good to be included in the plan going forward as far as how we're gonna fund this, because whether we're gonna fund this as a structure staying here and how that would look with the new building and, ongoing costs on that. We end up funding somewhere or another with ongoing costs of keeping old buildings around too. We gotta decide how many of them do we want.
If we still keep this and everything, I mean, there's gonna be monthly costs. that you have
Exactly,
to
well, that's
pay
what I'm
no matter
saying, and I
what.
think we need to make that decision, and you need to look at the
Does it
overall long-term cost versus even removing it, or, who's gonna manage it? I mean, who's gonna manage another structure?
It's somebody else.
Well, we don't, I mean, Historical Society manages them now, do they want another old building? I mean, and like I say, how does that look in the, let's see how that looks into the picture of the new structure too, and taking our parking or the monument, those kind of things, so.
Supervisor's office. Yeah. Hold on, I'm gonna put you on speaker. And then you can start over. You there?
This is actually the city of Manly, and we have a planning and zoning board meeting tonight at 6.
Yep.
And I sent the invite to Mark Sneebly because I know he's our
I've got her,
whatever.
I've got it.
Will you be here tonight? I'm just trying to verify that we have a quorum.
I've got it on my calendar if I don't forget. Yes, I'm planning on being there at 6 o'clock at the city hall, right?
Yep,
Okay,
I'll be here too.
all right, thank you.
All right, perfect, thank you.
Yep.
Bye.
Oh, so it's in that.
That's fine. She just double checking. I appreciate
Well,
that. So,
What are we talking about here? When the phone rang.
Lots of decisions.
Lots of decisions to make in the
Next
next 30 to 60 days. I think, we need to, like I say,
Workshops.
workshops. We've tried to engage the public, I think, as best as we can. And
Yeah, I think
you know how
it's
it's gone.
Public
Not
meeting,
very well.
the survey.
So, but say,
Maybe talk to the financial people and see how the money thing works.
all is included in, so that we don't be
What
behind the eight
time,
ball on
yeah.
January 15th going, oh crap, we gotta get this hearing called or whatever.
What the timeline will be and when the money's available to start paying.
Yep. And we need to also look, we've talked about roads and bridges projects and things like, we need to look at the overall big picture there. And the Manly Terminal project possibly, it all needs to be included in the discussion, how we're gonna handle this.
We need a development plan for the county.
We can put a payout schedule together for design and construction, kind of month by month.
That would help us put it in there.
21, 23, 22, 3, and 4. Assuming we start schematic design in January, construction actually gets started in March. Now completed probably June of 24.
So I think, you know, with all the things we're talking about, it's a lot of money. Not just this, there are other things we talked about.
Have you heard anything more about this out east here as far?
In mine,
No.
Yeah.
I did notice the
I
one,
just was wondering,
one up north is completely empty now.
but I think one of the employees bought it.
Oh, okay.
That's what I heard.
I know there's people in that, so. But
I might be wrong there.
No, I just thought it was completely empty on Saturday night. We drove by there.
What they're doing with it, I don't know, but
did anybody ever move into the strong steam?
not to my knowledge, yet.
Nope.
That's sitting empty.
Cause maybe that'd be space for the guys and temporarily,
Possibly.
since there hasn't been
Not a
anybody
very
else.
big space.
No.
Yeah.
Oh, well, that's not either.
Upstairs and downstairs. I mean, I don't know, a lot of the documents have to be
I
stored.
guess between the upstairs and downstairs, they could probably make it work.
So
I
there
don't
would
know, I'm
always be a
just-
possibility of mobile office
Or,
out at the, we could probably place mobile office out at the,
Good.
or maybe her house.
Yeah.
If
Oh,
that's
there's
been
a-
sectioned
that-
off, I
that's
don't
fine.
know.
That's
There you
good.
go. There's a spot.
Just have to make sure we get fiber to it.
Helena out there, is empty.
What's that?
That Helena's empty.
oh, that building.
Oh, yeah, across from. That's been empty for a while.
Lease it for a year or two.
No, it's not very fast.
No, no.
Fixed it. Yeah. that's
Lots of
fine.
stuff to decide.
Yeah, so it all needs to be included in these discussions, and we just need to start either do agenda items or do workshops, like you say, with a schedule. Figure it out.
Yeah, because we'll have some infrastructure stuff too. I mean, right now, our Winnebago telephone comes in east-west of this structure, so I suppose we'll have to move it into the new structure. Try to do east-west again.
Oh, yeah, you gotta go.
The
Okay.
tower.
The
Yeah.
tower, yeah.
And can you make one mass exodus, or is
Stage
it gonna
during
be in
construction.
stages?
I don't know. That's what we gotta talk to those guys about. And see
But
what
we have to have a
with.
landing spot before we move any radios over.
Mhm.
Correct.
Gotta have someplace to go.
Which construction? we-
Yes, we are. Well, I mean, it was nice because being the east-west, I mean, if Winnebago telephone, if they lose the western side, we still are fed through the east and vice versa. So I mean, we're the hub here.
Well, and then we can abandon that, or underneath our 80,
Mhm.
because the treasure
Oh,
will be
yeah,
over
yeah.
here.
Oh, treasure will be.
Treasure will be there.
Yeah.
That'll be nice.
Because that's gonna go, I mean, that glass underneath there's, we put that in 2005. So that glass is getting kind of old.
And the deputies won't need it anymore either.
Nope.
What's
Okay.
also
So should be
helped-
evidence over there.
Over there.
In that building?
Not gonna have evidence.
We won't, if you want to build me that big of an evidence area.
Sure I will.
That's what we're talking
Tell
about.
Well, I think it's the time, I would presume we would want everything out of those buildings.
Mhm.
And maybe back to the city or wherever, we don't want nothing to do with them
Want one, but
at that point. We
Everything
want
else.
everything as centrally located as we can get.
Yeah, I think we've got that identified.
Yeah, but we didn't identify it that big.
how about you clean house?
Of evidence.
Well, I have got a great evidence building. for you.
And maybe this is just
Yeah, but
turning a
then-
story.
Yeah, but you're heating and, yeah.
Cold storage.
Yeah. Mouse storage.
It already is probably.
Yes, it is.
You have to take.
I
your
got the
cars apart.
ATV.
That doesn't work so well.
Oh, you're talking your big evidence building. Oh, I don't think we talked about doing that.
No, cars, boats. I think we showed something on one of the concepts, like county roads. a secure building for evidence, for legend and stuff.
That far.
Large air
Well,
compressors.
I mean, that's, we're just right now, we're just kind of talking about this structure. We aren't talking about, you know, we need to include that.
That's why I asked about that.
So you're not talking about city building.
Not
We can't put cars there, but we figure them out. But like large air compressors and that, instead of trying to take them upstairs or downstairs.
That was helpful conservation too, I would think.
Hmm.
Yeah, once forward, it could be incorporated into other phases. I suppose.
And right now we don't have, we're big borrowing and stealing. I'm sure Mark Tomlinson hasn't said nothing with the command trailer. If the fairgrounds fill up, we have no place to put that right now because it's too big.
Yeah, it's been in the parking lot for a while.
Hate to have that in the parking lot during the winter.
You know, that has more to do with.
Especially when court gets
supply and
busy.
demand that parts getting.
So TS.
I was gonna say TS Express.
What's that?
Still for sale.
Yeah, it's for sale.
Well, that deal fell through with the employee.
Ah,
I heard.
didn't know that.
Somebody just sent me a message. So,
Lots to discuss.
well, that could be a potential.
That's a
secondary
potential.
roads Facility,
Mm-hmm.
and it would have office space. You know, if it's worth it. It's something to pursue.
Never been inside.
It's been years since I've been in it. I asked you, I haven't been in since they, you know, they had offices, yeah, I assume so.
Pretty
Oh, that
sure.
was an IH dealership?
Mhm.
Yeah, cool. That would have been a long time ago.
Back in the day.
Say, must be before you got here.
Mm, That's 25 years.
Yeah, it's probably been going longer than that.
Yeah,
Oh, yeah. That
pretty
was-
big dealership.
That was a good one.
It's a two-store dealership at one time. They had Lake Mills, or Lake Mills is where it started. And then this was it. Anyway,
Makes me feel younger.
What else can
I
I
remember
do to help you prepare?
I just will have to keep in contact with you, I guess, as we pursue this. I mean, we're gonna have to make these decisions and you know what we wanna do.
Now, would you still go forward with, design for conservation and secondary roads building at the same time, so that if we could jump on it at some point, or would you just leave those at the stage that they're at right now?
It's up to you.
I
If you want to make
guess-
those investments for design right now.
I
you
guess
can do
I'd
it.
hold off on them until we find out about some of these other, because it's a lot
The
better.
road projects and everything too.
Well, that plus,
Well, other
if some of this
potential
stuff
sites,
comes
you know,
up, where we can buy something,
there's a couple potential sites.
you know,
for sale.
instead of
Last
putting
time I
out
saw you
brand
talking
new,
about the implement.
it's gonna save us
dealership.
money on the whole picture.
Sure.
Okay. So,
Yes,
yeah,
and
makes
no, it
sense.
we can move
depends
into
on how
something like
much
that.
improvements you gotta do on the
They probably
inside,
need
like
some
with public
improvements, but
health.
Sure.
They would
Yeah,
be a big step up from what
I-
they have.
yeah,
And space would be pretty good in either one of them.
yeah, but there's, you know, those places, the shops are already there, ready to go.
Doesn't the American Rescue Plan kind of fit into that too? Because you're talking about the water towers being redone, if we're gonna move that there on this other money, or
Yes.
Run that by me again, Dan, what are you saying?
American Rescue Plan
Yeah.
money. We need to make some decisions on that too, because I know the water towers was something that was discussed.
Oh, the
So-
pipeline,
Getting
yeah,
up and
Are we
running.
gonna use that out of there, or do we need to plan money with this other stuff to get that done? Because let's face it, that's one of our money makers out there, so.
can we use it for this other stuff? Is it opened up so you can use it?
Cause I had asked,
It's being used for all kinds of stuff that I would have never thought was approved.
We just want.
cause I asked about
You know, like-
justifying it for HVAC or whatever.
That's what I was
for
thinking, the air
new
system,
building.
you could use it
Yeah.
there, couldn't you?
Yeah.
So there's part of the American Rescue Plan that you could incorporate into this to save some money.
Between the water tower and the building, you could probably get rid of it easy. It's only 1.4 million.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Yeah.
Still,
only.
yeah, but yeah, like in the air, yeah, in the HVAC system, it could be used
Just air
there.
quality, space. I mean,
everything like
there's a
that.
lot of stuff we can justify with the building with that.
But there's a few other ideas on that too. It just needs to be hammered out.
Us, the committee that's doing that needs to kind of start shaking that down too, so that this is part of the process going forward. I mean, we gotta have those all
Yeah.
kind of decided.
You can divert money around. The one thing to keep in mind with that rescue plan money is as federal funds, you are required to use the Davis-Bacon wage rates. So you might want to look for what we might spend it on that doesn't have the most increase in labor costs. You don't want to waste the money, I guess. So look for the most efficient place where you're spending more on materials than labor, I guess is the best way to put
It's
it.
gonna do the most overall good.
Right.
That's what you gotta figure out.
We did a project that we bid before the money came out for air conditioning at a high school. I think the bid was like 2 million to air conditioning this whole high school. And then they came back later and said, hey, we want to use ESSER funds. Let's do a change order to implement the Davis-Bacon wage rates and reporting. It was another $400,000.
I don't mean to be mean here, but I do need to adjourn the meeting. I guess if you guys wanna, it's just talk anyway right now, so I'll take a motion to adjourn the meeting.
I'll make a motion to adjourn the meeting.
I'll second it. No further discussion. All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Aye. Motion will carry. Apologize, but I do have to get to.
Thank you.